Much of the press is trying to turn the page on Biden's historic failure in Afghanistan. We know and understand that Biden and his administration's failures will haunt the United States for decades. Our people will endure more death, more loss of liberty, loss of prestige because of left-wing stupidity. Not to mention, we have our fellow Americans and allies still abandoned behind enemy lines. So we will touch on Afghanistan and Biden's idiotic failure throughout this show and for months to come. Conversely, other information sources tainted by left-wing bias will try to move on. That's why we think you should turn them off and keep us on. We cover it all here on Newsmax and on the Chris Salcedo Show. Tonight we'll begin with the left's agenda of division right here at home. Democrats, socialists don't win elections in the United States of America. That's why they work to divide us. They divide us on class. They divide us on religion. They divide us on race. Combating left-wing racism, that's our focus in tonight's preamble. The state of Texas has passed and the Supreme Court has allowed the implementation of an abortion bill that protects babies in the womb from being slaughtered by socialist Democrats. The law prohibits the taking of a human life once a heartbeat is detected. Socialists are outraged. The law seriously impacts their bottom line. According to watchdog groups, the butcher shop, Planned Parenthood, pulled in $1.6 billion, profiting $70 million off the slaughter of children in the womb alone. Yet the nation's leading killer of children in utero inappropriately gets $500 million every year from the U.S. taxpayers. Why would any business making $1.6 billion a year need a taxpayer subsidy? The butcher shop uses our taxpayer money to keep the lights on, pay salaries, and pay the rent. And that allows them to take their profit from slaughtering babies in the womb and donate to their favorite political party. Anyone want to venture a guess at which political party that is? That's right, the socialists. Team Biden is not happy with this potential loss.
Its extreme Texas law blatantly violates the constitutional right established under Roe v. Wade and upheld as precedent for nearly half a century. It will significantly impair women's access to the health care they need, particularly for communities of color and individuals with low incomes.
First, abortion is not health care. Only truly stupid people consider the ending of a human life to be health care. In truth, abortion is the opposite of health care. Secondly, the idiots who decided Roe versus Wade said that because Americans have a right to privacy, they have the right to kill another human being in utero because of that right. It was a silly and vacuous ruling that, it took the political debate out of all of our hands, and it's caused division in our country ever since. Thirdly, did you catch the white girl's admission there? Jen Psaki admitting that preserving human life impacts minority communities, and she's right. The butcher shop puts 86% of their abortion facilities in minority neighborhoods. People of color like me are targeted by these left-wing lunatics. This reality leads to other disturbing headlines. In Mississippi, for example, data shows that all of the abortions conducted in Mississippi over a 16-year period from 1995 to 2010, 72% of those abortions victimized black babies. In 2012, the nation was shocked when it learned that more black babies were aborted than born in New York City. So it's bad enough that the lily-white socialists like Jen Psaki target black and brown communities to set up their abortion mills. Her political party actually profits from the slaughter of black and brown babies in the womb. Now, we'd expect nothing less from the political party that leaves our citizens behind in countries like Afghanistan. But the left's racism doesn't stop there. They're also busy targeting minority kids in school with their Marxist critical race theory. As your liberty-loving Latino, I couldn't be prouder to see patriots of color standing up to this hate-filled ideology being shoved down our kids' throats. Patriots like Derek Wilburn.
I am the direct descendant of the North American slave trade. Both my parents are black, all 4 of my grandparents are black, all 8 of my great-great-grandparents, all 16 of my great-greats. On my mother's side, my ancestors were enslaved in Alabama. On my father's side, we were enslaved in Texas. I am not oppressed. I'm not oppressed, and I'm not a victim.
Amen. Mr. Wilburn wasn't done there. After rejecting the false victimhood being pushed by socialist white folk like Biden, Pelosi, Schumer, and communists like Bernie Sanders, Mr. Wilburn went for the jugular of Marxist thought.
I travel all across this country of ours, and I check into hotels, and I fly commercially, and I walk into retail establishments, and I order food in restaurants. I go wherever I want, whenever I want. I am treated with kindness, dignity, and respect, literally from coast to coast. I have 3 children. They are not oppressed either, although they are victims. I've taught my children they are victims of 3 things: their own ignorance, their own laziness, and their own poor decision-making.
You know, Joe Biden just got through blaming Donald Trump, American citizens who Biden left behind in Afghanistan, and the Afghan army for Biden's massive debacle in that country. In contrast, Mr. Wilburn there is raising his kids to take personal responsibility, the antithesis of socialist Democrat thought.
Putting critical race theory into our classrooms is taking our nation in the wrong direction. Racism in America would by and large be dead today if it were not for certain people and institutions keeping it on life support. And sadly, very sadly, one of those institutions is the American education system.
That is right. The government education system dominated and run by socialist, anti-American leftists. In fact, the entire Socialist Party is dedicated to division. They need us at each other's throats. They need us not unified behind our country, not unified behind our Constitution, not unified behind a common set of American values, values that our, real Americans know are not born of bigotry or discrimination. As we've seen in the debate over abortion, the pullout of Afghanistan, or the introduction of the poison that is critical race theory into our classrooms, the division that's pushed by socialist Democrats leads to nowhere but death and ruin.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.